also mentioning things like the power of connection and volunteerism in the same sentence at times. Tell us a little bit about either or of these concepts and how they work together in your life, and just in general, what kind of advice would you give in relation to those listening?
I'm definitely a people person. The power of connection and forming community plays out for me personally and professionally. I was trying to count it up last night, and I think that I probably have close to 25 family members that live within 5 kilometers of me.
So lucky.
I am so lucky, and I'm so grateful for it. My friends often joke that I collect people as a hobby, but I really love listening to people's stories, understanding who they are, and for me, it motivates me and energizes me. And when I take that next professional perspective, that's something that I really get by belonging to an association like Digital Health Canada or other ones that I also belong to. And volunteering is the same thing. It's the opportunity to be able to connect with people, to understand something new and to learn, to have an impact. There's lots of ways that you can get forward, but it is motivating. You are more engaged and happier in life when you're doing things. So you might as well volunteer. You might as well find who your next best friend can be and do things together instead of by yourself all the time. So.
And that's interesting because that's what we're talking about. There's a warmth to you and a real presence in the way you talk and the way you show up. And I think your concepts for what real leadership is or should be and how to move things forward in terms of kindness and being straightforward and being principled and connecting to people. These are very important, especially in healthcare, because healthcare is about people and caring about people.
Yeah.
And we're always about the business of healthcare, typically. And so it's really nice to see there are people that are really driven by adding that human touch and that connection. I wanted to share that with the audience so they can feel it, although I probably do too. And so I know that comes through not just in interactions like this, but also in the recognitions that you've received. And congratulations for receiving the Women Leaders in Digital Health. That's a great award, and I wanted you to tell us about that and how that made you feel and what it did for you in a way.
I was so excited to learn that I had been nominated and received that award. And I received the Women Leader in Digital Health award back in November. And it was a surprise to me. I didn't know I'd been nominated, and I learned just before it was announced. And I can't tell you the gratitude I felt and just the happiness. It was like my own personal little Oscar moment. It was amazing for me. It was definitely a career highlight to recognize that those that I work with care about, because we're in the game together. We're in the trenches trying to do something together. It was very honoring and humbling, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And was it a moment where you feel like, I in a sense, I had arrived, or it's just like a milestone and it's pushing you forward to the next step?
Well, I definitely feel pressure to make sure I live up to the recognition, for sure. I'm not going to rest back on my laurels, but it was a really nice moment. I am so passionate about the digital health world, and to get that kind of hug back was fantastic for me. But I want to keep moving forward and keep demonstrating my leadership in this space, for sure. I think the increased focus on equity, diversity, and inclusion practices embedded within organizational culture is a strong driver to kind of highlight this. I love to see women supporting women and trying to get ahead, but I'm also a huge fan of the best person for the job and whatever that looks like, and then supporting that. I do think, though, that men and women think differently, as do people from different backgrounds of all types. And so having that diversity and intentionally planning for it is important to make sure that you are accounting for blind spots, that you are being inclusive. Everyone benefits overall. And so I would like to hope that there's an increased focus on including women at leadership tables and in impactful ways, like not just at the head of a committee, but an important committee. Being on boards, acting as CEOs, and supporting that kind of growth should be a goal. And I hope that that's the trend.